I'm Kusaji, and I do not have a microphone stand, so this is going to be a little awkward. But that's not going to stop us. Today's video is going to be on making a dubstep drum loop. I'm not going to go super in depth or make it super complex. It's pretty much just going to be a kick, snare, a hat, and hopefully by doing that, you're going to go ahead and learn a little bit about Ableton. So if you're brand new to Ableton, I'll try to make it nice and easy to follow. And hopefully by the end of the video, you too could have your very first little drum loop. So the first thing that I'm going to do, I would make a new file, but I'm not going to do that. Just because I don't want to have to reinitialize my mic. So the first thing that I did, I'll delete it and I'll make it look pretty much just like yours. Whoops. Okay, so whenever Ableton opens up, I'll even change that back. So this is pretty much your bare bones Ableton set. You have your transport controls, so you could, stop, play. Over here is your tempo controls. So since I'm going to be making a dubstep drum loop, we're going to go ahead and set that to 140, because most dubstep is at 140 BPM. And I'm just going to keep it simple, not going to, go all super complex. I'm going to go ahead and turn the metronome on. This helps so that you can, keep track of time. If you've done stuff with music before, I'm sure you've definitely used a metronome before. So that's Ableton's little metronome feature right there. So I'll go ahead and press play. And you can hear we have a metronome that's 140 BPM. So since we're going to be making a drum loop today, I'm going to go ahead and go into drums. And then I'm going to drag a drum rack onto Midi channel 1. Doesn't matter if you drag it on 1 or 2, or even if you drag it all the way over here. I'll even do that to show it. You could drag it wherever you want. And this is your session view. And this is kind of where you jam out and you just, experiment. And then you can go ahead and click up here. This will take you into your arrangement view. We are not going to be going into arrangement view this video. We're going to go ahead and just keep it nice and simple. So now we are back in session view. And I'm going to get rid of this drum rack just by pressing delete, because I don't need it. Now, this is the drum rack that I'm going to use for our little dubstep kit. Now, I'm going to go ahead and just grab some Vengeance dubstep samples. There's a bunch of places you could find samples online, so feel free to place in whatever you want. But for this case, we'll just grab, kick 1. Awesome. Then we're going to go and grab just snare 1. Sure. And notice I'm putting them one apart. So I have one on C, then one on D. What that means is on my keyboard, on C, let me go ahead, let me trigger it. Now I could actually play it on my MIDI keyboard. So now we have a kick and a snare. You can set it up however you want, but on average, C, kick, then D is a snare. And I'm going to go ahead and grab a little closed hat. Yeah, sure, we'll do that one. I'm going to put that on F sharp. So now we have a kick, a snare, and a hi-hat. As I said, not super fancy. Just going to keep it nice and simple. So what I'm going to go ahead and do is you can right-click and insert MIDI clip. So I'm not going to record this. I'm just going to go ahead and use the piano roll here. On a drum rack, it automatically folds it. So you see that's your whole piano roll. You don't have to worry about that. We'll eventually find it. But whenever you fold it, you can actually see there's your kick, there's your snare, there's your hat. So we're going to go ahead, and I'll leave it at a length of 1 for now. That's how many bars it is. Usually you want to do like a 16 measure loop. That's what most people will make their songs in. But I'm going to go ahead and go with a 4 measure loop. I'm going to go ahead and If I press play right here, that will arm this little track to play. And you can see it going by, and nothing's happening, because we haven't given it any notes yet. Same thing could be done by pressing play over here. So if you were to have a bunch of different instruments, you can go ahead and press play, and it would trigger all of them to play. So what we're going to do is, in dubstep, a very, pretty much the building blocks is kick on 1. I'll turn that on so you can hear. And to get this little pencil mode, you just press B on your keyboard, and it will toggle it in between, being able to select stuff and being able to just click and, you can place a note. I have this to 1/16. You could change that by pressing Control 1 to go to smaller notes, Control 2 to go to larger notes, so you can go all the way up to, whole notes. But I usually work in 16th notes. You can press Control 3 to go into triplets, but we will ignore that for now because that's a little bit more complex. And we'll leave it at that. So I'm set to 1/16 notes. I have kick on 1. Then I'll go ahead and put the snare on 3. And I'll go ahead and press play. So that was a 16. Nice and easy. Kick, snare, kick, snare. That's pretty much the basic building blocks of a dubstep drum loop. Now, what I'm going to go ahead and add in is on 2 and 4, I'm going to throw a hi-hat, so nice and simple. So by now you already have a bare bones basic dubstep drum loop. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to make another MIDI clip, and I'm going to do the same. Kick on 1, snare on 3, and we'll go ahead and add a snare on 4. And we're going to go and do the same. Hat on 2 and 4. So we'll press play on this MIDI clip. So it's a little annoying if you play it over and over again, but if we let this one go 3 times, 2, 3, 4. So I'm using that as a very simple little fill. So I'm sure you could see you can create as many different MIDI clips as you want. Another thing that we could do is I'll make another MIDI clip. This one will be 4 in length, so this will be 16. So we'll go ahead and kick, snare. I'll just go ahead and place my kicks and snares where they belong. And then as the little fill, I'm going to go ahead and throw an extra snare there. Going to put the hats on 2 and 4. And now we can press play. I'll go ahead and turn that metronome off. And there you go. You have your first nice, simple little dubstep drum loop. So if you found this video helpful, give it a like. And if you have any comments or suggestions on what you'd like to see as a topic that I cover, go ahead and comment below. And if you like the work that I do, feel free to go ahead and subscribe. I'm going to go ahead and end this video here, and we'll cover kind of spicing this up and going into the arrangement view in a later video. Thanks for watching.